doggies, it's your misfortune and none of my own. Yippee-ki-yi-o, get along, you little doggies. You know that the prairie will be your new home.
Adventures of Lightning Jim. The famous Marshal and his deputy Whitey have been on the chase almost constantly for the past several months. And even United States Marshals need a rest occasionally. So the two of them, having no immediate assignment, have decided to spend a week or two in the quiet little town of Pecos, basking in the Arizona sunshine. They've registered at Ma Weatherford's hotel and are just coming out on the veranda after the evening meal.
You know, Whitey, I'd plumb forgotten how good fried chicken could taste.
And gravy, and homemade biscuits.
Yeah.
And strawberry yam, and coconut cake.
Oh.
Say, Lightning, I ain't had a meal like that for years.
You know what I'm going to do now?
No, what you going to do, Lightning?
This. I'm going to sit down here like this, put my feet up on the railing, like this. And yes.
Oh, well, you know what I'm going to do?
No, Whitey, what?
I'm going to take this rocking chair like this.
Yeah?
And sit down like this.
Yeah?
And yes, rock.
Oh, if the boys could only see Whitey Larson now. The terrible Swede full of fried chicken, just rocking back and forth.
Oh, by golly, I guess I lose my reputation.
Sure would, Whitey.
See, Lightning?
Yeah.
Look at that little bendy leg fella walking this way. It certainly acts important.
Sure it does.
Which one of you hombres is United States Marshal Lightning Jim Whipple?
I am, partner. This here's my deputy, Whitey Larson. What might your name be, Sheriff?
How'd you know I was a sheriff? Heard tell of me around the country?
Well, can't say I have exactly, but saw your badge plain enough on your vest.
Oh, sure. You can tell from that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm mighty glad to meet you two. My name's Bunny. Septimus Bunny.
Well, we're mighty glad to meet you, too, Sheriff
Oh,
Bunny.
how do you do, Mr. Bunny?
Sit down. I'll pull up a chair and join you for a spell. There. I was wondering, you ain't here on business, are you? Not hunting nobody?
Nobody at all, Sheriff. Me and Whitey's just taking ourselves a little rest. Between hunts, so to speak.
I thought so. News gets around fast in this community. Does. And when I heard tell you was staying here at Ma Weatherford's, I says, well, I bet they ain't hunting nobody. 'Cause why?
'Cause why, Sheriff?
'Cause there ain't nobody to hunt, that's why. Nobody's going to try no dirty work around here long as I'm sheriff. You can bet your bottom dollar. They ain't no better. Why, I've been sheriff here for 6 years now. And you know what?
No, what, Sheriff?
Ain't been no trouble at all. Made a few arrests for being drunk and disturbing the peace, and once Miss Booker had all the chickens stole right out from her chicken house.
Yes, why, did you catch the dirty thief, Sheriff?
Well, can't say that I did, but I found the feathers all right. They'd been et. Yes, sir. Took right out of town and cooked and et. The signs was as plain as the nose on your face.
Well, that was pretty bad, that was.
Yeah, that certainly was awful.
Here comes John Marvin, our new freight agent. Come on up and meet our distinguished visitors, John.
Well, that's what I'm aiming to do. As soon as I heard Lightning Jim and Whitey Larson was in town, I hurried right over.
There wasn't no need to hurry, Miss Marvin. Me and Whitey's planning on staying a while.
Yes, sir. It'll take a couple of mules to get me out of this rocking chair, I tell you.
Sit down, John. Sit down. I was just telling the men here that nobody would start no trouble around here long as I was sheriff. They wouldn't take the chance. No, sir.
Not unless it might be Wade Emerson. I wouldn't trust that breed at all.
Well, I got my eyes on him, all right. He won't start nothing. Still, it's a darn shame that decent folks have got to rub elbows with a horn-toad like Wade. One of these days, I'll catch him doing something, and then...
Who is this Wade Emerson? What kind of a varmint is he, anyhow?
Why, Marshal, haven't you heard about Blaze Emerson? Used to ride with the Black Gulch gang. Got sent to prison, died there a few years back.
Oh, sure, we heard tell of Blaze, all right. Say, he was a fast-shooting old-timer, all right.
Well, this Wade we're talking about is his son. About 20-year-old, I reckon. Come here a few years back, bought up a little piece of land, not schmiggered in a cow pasture, and is trying to make a living out there.
What's he done that's wrong? Since he come here, I mean.
Well, he ain't done nothing yet. But like father, like son, I always say. His pa was a bad one. Stands to reason that the kid ain't no good either.
Well, so long as I'm sheriff, he ain't going to do nothing neither.
Well, I can't figure him out. Got a couple of cows, few chickens, sells milk and eggs to Ma Weatherford here. Aside from that, he don't make enough to live on.
Well, I reckon he's doing the best he can. Maybe trying to go straight, you know. Kid like that deserves a helping hand.
Helping hand?
Yeah.
He deserves a good lesson. Made to realize that decent, respectable folks ain't going to tolerate his kind hanging around.
Well, I reckon the marshals here are kind of tired. Maybe we should mosey along and let them hit the hay.
Sure. It's a good idea. Plenty of time for chinning later.
The following day, Jim and Whitey spent ambling around the town, eating more of Ma Weatherford's good cooking and taking life easy in general. And then just before supper, they entered the hotel to hear sounds of a rather heated conversation between Ma and a rather imposing-looking stranger.
I told you once, and I tell you again, I ain't running no charity institution here. No money, no food.
But, my dear lady, you don't understand. I'm the great Albert Throckmorton, the greatest Shakespearean actor in all the United States. No, in all the world. Ah, my Hamlet is unquestionably...
Well, your Hamlet don't get you no ham and eggs around here. Now you be on your way.
What's trouble you, Ma?
Yo, what's the trouble, Ma?
No trouble at all. Just another moocher trying to bum a meal.
Gentlemen, I appeal to you. Surely you've heard of Albert Throckmorton, who played before the King of England at a command performance. Mind you, a command performance.
Is that so?
I did bits of Hamlet, King Lear, Othello, and Macbeth. Ah, but my Hamlet is my masterpiece. I'll give you a few lines.
Oh, not me, you won't. I'm going back to see to my supper. Now you scoot.
Yeah, I'd sort of like to hear some of that Shakespeare stuff.
How'd you happen to be here in town, Mr. Throckmorton?
Well, it's just a little strange. I got in a poker game on my way out here, and my losses were heavy. The stage driver wouldn't accept my word that I could repay him as soon as I reached friends, so he put me off the coast.
Yeah, pretty story. Wouldn't catch a fly if you used honey on it. Now you get out of here.
Now, Ma, reckon you wouldn't care none if I was to pay for the gentleman's supper. Now, would you? He could recite some of that Shakespeare to Whitey here. He'd learn something.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'd like that. Maybe you could even teach me some of that Shakespeare stuff, Mr. Throckmorton.
Throckmorton, my boy, Throckmorton. I'd be glad to. Of course. The interpretation takes years and years of practice.
The interpretation. Well, I wouldn't have to learn that. You could kind of learn me something easier at first.
If you want to throw your money away, Marshal, now that's your business.
I assure you that I shall repay your courtesy, gentlemen. I will wait for you over here. It is indeed a pleasure to meet two such connoisseurs of the dramatic art.
He wrist Lightning. What did he say?
I ain't sure know myself,
He's done it. The son of a thief. He can't flaunt the law in my face and get away with it. I'll show him.
What's happened, Sheriff? What's happened?
What are you yelling about?
Plenty, that's what. That good-for-nothing Wade Emerson you was always sticking up for. He's gone and robbed Joe Silver of the payroll for the bridge gang.
Oh, he ain't neither. Don't believe one word of it. So there.
Was it seen, Sheriff? Tell us what happened.
They ever get an excitement after all.
As the bard once said, to vouch this is no proof. Without more, wider, and more...
Shut up! Septimus, What happened?
Nobody know what happened. But Joe got hit on the head tonight, just about an hour ago. He didn't see who hit him. But when he come to, lying back in the alley there, the money for the payroll was gone.
And just how does this Wade come into this?
Why, 'cause he's the only cook around here. I know 'em all, and he's the only one. His pa died in the pen, and I reckon that's where Wade'll wind up.
Oh, I don't think that's always true, Sheriff.
Well, anyhow, I'm going to round up a posse right now and arrest him. And you can bet your bottom dollar he'll turn up to see the...
Marshal, now you just got to stop this. There ain't a finer boy living than this Wade Emerson. He can't help what his old man's done. He's trying to live honest, and these vultures won't let him. Now you just got to do something.
Well, I reckon I can't, ma'am. The sheriff's in charge here. I don't have nothing to say about it.
But Lightning...
Come along, Whitey. We'd better get cleaned up for supper.
But Lightning,
You better come too, Mr. Throckmorton. We'll all go up to the room until supper time.
Gladly, sir. Gladly.
Well, what are we riding out this way for, Lightning?
Oh, nothing in particular, Whitey. Just thought a little fresh air and exercise do us good. Besides, Thunder here ain't used to taking a vacation. He might take it into his head to join the wild horses.
Are you sure you ain't figuring on joining up at the party?
Reckon Sheriff Bunny can handle his own posse. Say, Whitey, didn't it do your heart good to see that actor fella eat tonight?
I tell you, he sure can recite first the poetry.
Sure can.
But Lightning, you ain't going to let them send this kid to Yale if he's innocent, are you?
Can't see that we can do nothing about it, Whitey.
Lightning, I can't understand the way you're acting. Why, you know everybody is taking it for granted that Wade is guilty. Why, they ain't even trying to find out if somebody else could have done the robbery.
Well, maybe we can catch the boy.
Hey, somebody shooting.
Yeah.
Come on, Thunder. Come on, boy. Come on, Whitey. Come from over here.
Yo, look, Stevie.
There it is. Sounded like the sheriff. Sheriff Bunny. That you?
What's the trouble? Did you catch me, Emerson?
Oh, Thunder, oh, boy.
I had him right in my hand, and he tricked me. Tricked Septimus Bunny. But he won't get away with it. Mark my words, I'll get him.
What happened? Where is he?
We went up to his house. He wasn't home. We figured he'd vamoosed.
Yeah?
The posse decided to separate. Better chance of finding him. Well, I come this way, and all of a sudden, there he was, right in front of me with his milk cans, bold as brass.
Milk cans? What milk cans?
He said he was going to deliver his evening milk to Ma Weatherford. Claimed he didn't know nothing about no robbery. Well, I put him under arrest, and I got him up here in the saddle in front of me.
What saddle? And where's your horse?
Will you let me tell this my way?
Go on.
I pulled him up here, not thinking that he was up to no tricks. Not with me having tight hold on him.
Yo, and then what happened?
The darned ornery backstabbing hypocrite. He hit me over the head with one of his milk cans, knocked me clean off the horse and rode off.
Hold on now. You say he knocked you out with a milk can?
Not out, just off. I'm all covered with milk, too. Dang lib came off the can.
Well, what happened, Sheriff? We heard the shooting.
The prisoner got away. He tricked me vicious-like. Nearly killed me, too, and got plumb away on my horse.
I reckon that makes a horse thief out of him, too.
And he's guilty of resisting an arrest.
Yeah, and assaulting an officer in a discharge of his duty.
Well, I reckon this proves it, man. Wade must be guilty or wouldn't have run away. Ain't that right?
Sure is.
Yeah, he's guilty as all get out. That's what he is.
Yeah, and when we find him, I reckon we'll know how to take care of him.
Sure
Well, we'll start hunting again tomorrow. I got to get home now and get some dry clothes. But we'll get him. And when we do, well, he'll find out what it means to attack the sheriff.
Is Wade Emerson, son of a thief, turned thief himself? Will the sheriff catch him? What part is Jim going to play in the capture? And just how does the old Shakespearean actor fit into the picture? All these questions will be answered in part 2, which follows immediately. And now for part 2 of the adventures of Lightning Jim. The next morning, Sheriff Bunny and several of the citizens are talking over the robbery in the local dine and dance palace.
Well, he's guilty and he ought to be hanged before he goes the way of his old man.
That's what I say. Ain't no use treating his kind with gloves. The rope's what they need.
I knew it all the time. I said to myself, that Wade Everson ain't up to no good. He'll bear watching.
Sure, pretending to be going straight. Trying to peddle his 3-4 quarts of milk and a few chickens. I wasn't took in none either.
Pardon me, sir, but I'm looking for some information.
Well, you came to the right person for information, all right. I am the sheriff here. What do you want to know?
I'm desirous of buying some land around here. I've heard quite a bit about your fair community.
Best county in the state, and I'm the sheriff who's going to keep it that way.
I'm pleased to know that the citizens have such able protection, sir. Allow me to introduce myself.
Hey, boys, here's a newcomer, figuring on settling in our midst. What'd you say your name was, stranger?
I was just about to tell you. My name is Augustus Shaw. I'm from New York State, and I've come out here to settle down and spend my declining years in your splendid climate.
Those folks in New York heard about Pecos, all right? Yeah, glad to have you join us, Mr. Shaw.
Decided on where you're going to live yet, Mr. Shaw?
No, I've just arrived in town today. I was figuring on renting a horse someplace and riding out to look over the country.
Well, I can fix you up with a horse, all right. Mine came home this morning, but, after the accident I had last night, I don't think I'll be riding for a couple of days yet.
I don't think you will be either.
Now, you Jaspers needn't laugh. I reckon you'd be sore, too, if you got flung off a horse when you wasn't looking and landed, landed sudden.
You landed all right.
Very good.
But I'll get the thieving buzzard or my name's not Septimus Bunny.
Dear me, this is alarming. You mean there's a thief loose in the community?
Well, he won't be loose long. I got my posse out looking for him right now. And when they find him...
I trust that'll be soon, because I have quite a sizable roll of bills on me for the purchase price, you know.
You mean you're carrying enough cash on you to buy a ranch around here?
It's my custom always to pay cash for everything. I have about $10,000 on me, which should be sufficient as a deposit, don't you think?
$10,000? You ain't serious.
You shouldn't be carrying such an amount around. At least not until we catch this Wade Emerson. Why, if he'd find out about that, he'd slit your throat for you.
I'm not easily intimidated, I assure you, gentlemen. I came here to look around for a ranch, and I do not intend to lose any time. Sheriff, will you kindly accommodate me with that horse you were talking about?
Sure. Certainly, Mr. Shaw. You come along with me. But if you'll take my advice, you'll let me lock that money up in my desk at the jail.
I'm quite capable of taking care of it myself. I don't think your bandit is likely to hold me up. Besides, your posse is out after this highwayman, isn't it?
My posse? Yes, of course. Sure to get him any minute now. Any minute.
Slow down there, Thunder. Take it easy, boy. We ain't going for a canter this morning. This is business.
Yo, there may be business to you, Lightning, but that's sure a thick fog to me. What are we doing out there anyway? What you looking for? What are you up to?
Well, Whitey didn't want to tell you before, because didn't want you to go thinking I was crazy.
Lightning, you know I think anything you do is all right. Come now, what's bothering you?
Well, I didn't feel right about this Wade boy somehow. Ma Weatherford so sure he's a good, decent boy. Trying to go straight.
And that sheriff ain't even trying to find nobody else to fit the crime.
No, reckon he makes a practice of looking right under his nose and no place else.
Well, are we looking for Wade now? Is that why we are here, Lightning?
No, at least for Ma Weatherford's sake, I hope it ain't. You see, Whitey, I got Throckmorton to help me try a little experiment.
Oh, you mean the Shakespeare feller?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what's he going to do?
Well, I gave him some money. Enough to be convincing at first glance, and we filled it out with some stage money he had.
He reckon he uses that stage money when he plays poker.
I ain't inviting none into that, Whitey. And maybe I won't see my money again, neither. But I had to take a chance. You see, I fixed it with Throckmorton so as to make out like it was just a simple Jasper, carrying a lot of money and riding around the country looking for a likely ranch.
Oh, you think that the real thief would try to get the money Throckmorton is carrying?
Yeah, that's it. I told Throckmorton to do a lot of talking, all around town, so as everybody be sure to know about him.
Yeah, but that dangerous for Throckmorton.
No, I don't think this thief's a killer. Didn't hit Joe Silvers last night any harder than he had to, and that's why you and me are here, Whitey. Throckmorton's supposed to be riding out this trail just about now.
Oh, you get that all fixed up with time schedules and everything.
All the way to do it, Whitey. Up until now, he's supposed to be riding around town, close enough that nobody would take a chance on hurting him. Then he's supposed to start out this way. And when he goes by...
And let the road over there?
Yeah, well, we trail him. Keep him to the side, of course. And if the thief takes the bait, we get him.
See, Lightning, what's that in the road up ahead?
Looks like a man lying in the road, Whitey. Up, Thunder. Woo, boy. Woo, Thunder. Woo, boy. Why, it's Throckmorton. Been struck on the head.
Lightning, is he dead?
No, he's still breathing. Can you talk, Throckmorton? Come on, tell us. Who did it?
Oh, my head.
Lie still, old man. We have you back in town in a few minutes to a doctor. Did you see who did it?
I couldn't see anything. I was coming along just as you'd arranged, looking very carefully to the right and to the left, and then...
What happened? Did he shoot you?
No. He tossed one of those crude jumping ropes. What do you call them?
Lariats, lassos, or whatever you want to call them. You got roped like a steer?
Oh, it was the most humiliating experience I ever had. I remember once in Boston, when I was playing, King Lear. They threw eggs at me.
What?
Ah, but this was much worse. Much worse. Oh, I ache all over. All over.
Yeah, but couldn't you see this fella at all?
No, it all happened so suddenly. And then I caught a glimpse of a shape.
Yeah?
Just a shape. Bending over me, and the dastardly villain must have struck me when I was down. Because that's all I remember.
Several hours later, we find the three men sitting disconsolately in Jim's bedroom.
Yeah, I can't tell you how sorry I am that I got you into this, sir. I thought we might be able to find a real thief, but, well, I guess I was too slow.
Well, I reckon the critter was so bold he just grabbed the first chance he got to find Mr. Throckmorton alone.
Think nothing of it, my dear sir. Nothing of it. Albert Throckmorton is always willing to be of service to his country and his fellow men, although having to use a pillow has its inconvenience.
See, what's that? The Ma Weatherford seems to be in a hurry.
Something must have happened.
Marshal, you just got to do something now. The sheriff sent me. He's scared.
What's the matter, Ma? Say, you're shaking all over. Here, sit down.
Oh, there ain't no time to sit down now. They just found that poor boy Wade.
Yeah?
And the whole town's worked up to the point of hanging
Hanging him? Where's Bunny?
Oh, Septimus Bunny's got Wade in jail right now, and he aims to keep him there. Septimus ain't a mean man, Marshal. He's just dumb, that's all. Now that the mob's forming, he sent me here to get you. Now you just got to help me.
Sure. Tell me, are all the townspeople down there, Ma?
Yep, every last soul in town. They ain't started nothing yet, but they're likely to at any time.
Whitey, that's our chance. You take care of that little thing we was talking about and do it quick.
Lightning, I'm on my way right now.
Come on, Throckmorton. Here's another chance for you to give some service.
I'm following you, my dear sir, but I hope none of those good people throw eggs at me.
Marshal, you got here. Oh, I never was so glad to see anybody.
Well, we had some trouble getting through that crowd.
Oh, they're much worse than the people I met in Boston. Much worse.
Listen to me, Marshal. I arrested Wade in there because I think he's a thief. But I don't hold with no lynching. And there ain't no mob are going to take my prisoner away from me. Not unless they do it over my dead body.
Good for you, Sheriff. I'm right with you on that. We'll hold him off somehow.
Where is the young culprit? Has he confessed? Given up his ill-gotten gain?
I've got him there in the back, far away from the crowd as I could get him. He ain't said nothing except that he didn't do it. And he keeps on saying he didn't do it. I can't get nothing else out of him.
Hey, give him up, Sheriff, or we're coming in after him.
Open that door, Sheriff.
What you talking about? Are you crazy? I'm not opening that door until that mob goes away.
No, that will work. Listen, open that door. I'll stand there in the entrance, and, well, I don't reckon nobody will get in unless they get me first. Go on. Now.
We're giving you just 10 seconds.
He's got his guns drawn. Well, he's the fastest shot in the country.
Hold on, men. Hold on. Just how did you get in this game, Marshal? Ain't the sheriff here capable of taking care of his prisoner?
You keep your trap shut, John Marvin. You're getting much too uppity lately.
Lightning. You was right.
You found it, Whitey?
Oh, every bit of it, Lightning. It was hid right there in the freezer, you step. Except for about $15.
Reach for the sky, John Marvin.
You're crazy.
Hold on, men. Hold on. Just how do you explain the fact that all the money taken from Joe Silvers and from my friend Throckmorton here was found in your desk at the freight office?
It's a frame-up, a dirty frame-up.
Quiet. Search him, Whitey. Go. Keep your hands up, Marvin.
I'll make you pay for this. You got no right searching me. Sheriff, do your duty.
And I don't know what this is all about, but nobody better start nothing. That's all I got to say.
Your here it is, Lightning. $15 in bills.
You fool. What does that prove? Plenty of people are carrying $15 around with them.
Throckmorton, look them bills over.
Gladly, sir, gladly. Yes. Here are the markings. Clearly.
Good. In the first place, Marvin, it ain't altogether common for people out here to be carrying bills. We run more to hard money. But more important, Throckmorton here, who played the part of Shaw today, marked the bills he took with him.
Then this dirty, double-crossing, smooth-talking, pop-eyed roadrunner is the real thief?
Right, and I suggest that you lock him up, Sheriff, now. Listen, Sheriff, now that you got the real bandit, there's a boy back there in jail. Never did nothing, except to be unfortunate enough to have a thief for a father. He tried to live decent here with you, and none of you ever give him a break.
Well, I want you to know I'm sure sorry for what we done, Marshal. Reckon we can make it up to the boy some way?
Well, I hope so, Sheriff. You see, I never would have gotten into this thing except that it was all too cut and dried. Why, an hour after I got in town, I hear how the folks around here just waiting for Wade Emerson to do something wrong.
And this Marvin was the first one to tell us about Wade and how his pa had been a thief and all that.
The setup was made to order. Marvin could commit a crime, and pronto everybody would suspect Wade. The boy wouldn't stand a chance.
How come you suspected Marvin?
Well, I didn't really, Sheriff. Except that he tried just a little too hard to throw suspicion on Wade and to stir up the folks to lynching the boy. It was the marked bills that did the trick. Them and the splendid acting of Throckmorton here.
Thank you, my kind.
Now, listen, Sheriff. In the future, you better not be so quick to judge a man by the name that's given.
Yes, Marshal. Verily, the quality of mercy is not three.
See, I remember that port. You taught that to me last night. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is right blessed.
And so ends another dramatic episode in the lives of those two famous marshals of the Old West, Lightning Jim Whipple and his deputy, Whitey Larson.